My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. I've been in the debt collection business for over 15 years. I've worked in all aspects of debt collections. From where I started as a legal verifier, where basically all I would do was verify place of employment, as well as if someone owned any assets like a home. And if I found that information, I would send it straight to the collector and they would basically sue on the accounts. From there, I went to a skip tracer. Basically, there, all I did was skip trace information and found numbers and so forth to get in contact with consumers to obviously get them to pay their debt. From there, I worked as a debt collector where I actually did the collecting, where I did the calling and so forth. I worked in management where I had a team of over 20 people under me where I coached them on collecting, debt collecting and all of the nuances concerning that, as well as I've been an owner of a debt collection agency. Now, over the course of my life, for friends and family, I've been the go-to guy to answer questions with regards to debt and credit. I've cleaned credit for so many of my friends and family and answered so many questions concerning that stuff, and now I want to do it for you. So, if you have any questions about debt, like when's the best time to call a debt collection agency and negotiate a debt, all the way down to verifying a debt collection agency, figuring out if they're a real collection agency or not, I am here to help you with that. Like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. If you have any questions directly yourself, put them down in the comments, and I promise you I will answer those questions for you. Let's go. If you click this video, chances are you received a debt collection letter in the mail. Today, I want to explain to you some of the do's and the don'ts once you actually receive that letter. Let's start with the don'ts. Number one, take it and throw it in the trash. Inside that letter from a debt collection agency are some vital information with regards to the account that they're actually collecting on. So it's very, very important. Number one, you do not, I repeat, do not just throw it in the trash. Secondly, a lot of times what people do is they'll ignore it. They'll just take it and set it on a stack of bills or whatever it is that you may have, or you may have just taken it and set it aside because in your head you're thinking, well, this is a debt collection letter and I don't have any money. And given the time during this COVID-19, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are dealing with financial issues, but still, do not ignore that letter. What you should do is, number one, open it and read it. Typically on a debt collection letter, otherwise known as a demand letter, it'll have a few things that are very vital for you to read. For instance, it'll give the name of the actual collection agency, their name, their address, and so forth. It'll give the original creditor, which is who it is that you actually owe. Say, for instance, Capital One. Just throwing a creditor out there. It'll give the original account number, which typically if it's a credit card, it'll be your actual 16-digit credit card number. It'll have that information on there. And typically in there, most agencies, collection agencies out there, basically give you 30 days to dispute the validity of the debt. So if you throw it away or you ignore it within that 30-day time period, a lot can happen during that time span. Say, for instance, they can place it on your credit, or depending on the type of agency and what state that you're in, they can possibly sue you. Obviously, the laws are different in every state, so I would advise you to contact a lawyer if you have a lawyer, or do some Googling and research that information with regards to that. But typically, when you open this letter up, they'll give you 30 days to dispute the validity of the debt. Basically, when you open it up, you may open this letter up and it may have some information on there and you may be like, hey, wait a minute, I've never owed Capital One, or I've never owed whatever the creditor is that they're saying that you owe, right? And so when you open that letter up, if you never opened it up or if you ignored it or you threw it in the trash, it'll go on your credit report. And now getting it off your credit report is a whole nother situation, which If you respond to that letter within that 30-day period, you dispute the validity of the debt, then by law, the agency that has the account has to send verification or proof of that letter. So let's recap. 2 things you do not do. Throw it away. Number 2, ignore it. But open it up, read it, look at the information over, and if anything is not yours, or if it's something you don't recognize, or it's a company you don't recognize as the original creditor, which is who they're stating you owe, then you can send it in writing, or you can contact them directly. And nowadays, you can even send an email to the company itself if they have an email address. So you can call them, you can send it in writing, which is probably the best thing I recommend you do, is to send it in writing and make a copy of what it is that you send, and you can dispute it. Then that basically gives the company they have to respond. So that gives them some time to respond, and either they'll have the actual signed contract that you had, and basically you're not going to be able to get out of it if they have that, or they'll send you some type of verification letter showing that the account is in fact yours. So let's just be real. I want to let all of you guys know, those of you who are watching these videos, that there comes a time when things get tough and you may not be able to pay your bills and things go to collections. If you have any specific questions with regards to debt collections in general, like I said, I've been in the business for over 15 years. Down below, post a comment. I promise you, I'll answer your question. Like, subscribe, and if you found this video of any value, share with any of your friends. You guys be great.